Hello, good evening, everybody. Hi. Am I too loud? I don't even know if I need a microphone. Welcome to the Spot Bar. My name is Kathy Chenier, and I'm here tonight to introduce my longtime best friend, Nicole Cave. A little bit of history about Nicole.
Wait, that's not what I sent you. She's going out.
I'm actually not saying that. But I promise not to make you
We only have 35 minutes.
I know, I'm going back. Okay, so Nicole is a wife. She's a mother of two beautiful teenage daughters. And she left her 20-year job 2 years ago to pursue her passion to help women achieve their health and fitness goals. And she's done an amazing job at that. So she decided to take She has now decided to take her career to the next level, and tonight she's here to speak to us about empowering women. I'm proud to present my friend Nicole Cave.
Okay, thank you, Kathy Chenier, for that beautiful opening presentation. Okay, no, seriously. Okay, guys, I'm in charge of that too. Okay, well, I just want to say thank you to everybody for taking your time out of this Mother's Day weekend and your Friday night to spend it with me on my first ever public speaking event. I would like to thank Charmaine from the Spot, who's out of town this weekend, for giving me this opportunity. When I decided several months ago that I wanted to start speaking, I checked into many venues in the area, and Charmaine was wonderful enough to give me this opportunity. So I thank her very much. I also want to say thank you to Hannah Stonehouse Hudson, who is not here tonight either. She's out of town. And the quick backstory on why I am here tonight is mostly due to Hannah Stonehouse Hudson, who I saw spoke 2 years ago at the Visitor Center for the Women's Expo. And if any of you saw that, she did do a TEDx talk, and then she did a talk here at the Spot about it. And I was sitting in the audience, and I went there specifically. I did not know Hannah. I knew of her. She suffered the tragedy with her husband, with the ice tragedy, and I wanted to go there because her talk was about resilience, and I thought I want to hear her. And I sat in the audience, and I literally was so moved that I left, and I was crying when I got home because I thought, what an incredible woman to get up there and speak and tell her story and share with us. And I thought, maybe someday I can do that. Maybe someday I would be able to move others how she moved me. And whether it's your fitness goals, whether it's your personal goals, career goals, whatever it is, my intention tonight for all of you is to inspire and motivate you. And I want you to leave here thinking the same thing I thought 2 years ago, that, wow, maybe there is a little more out there. Maybe there is something more for me. And I will come to your talk when you speak in 2 years, or a year. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm going to try and stay on track. And I'm really bad at this. And since this is my first time, y'all are my guinea pigs. So I'm going to try. And the first thing I want to say to everyone is I'm not a licensed or life coach. I have no degree. I'm not a personal fitness trainer. I have no certification. I have no credentials to back me up, except for the fact that I have passion in what I do. I have passion, and I believe in any woman that sets her mind to do something. And I say that because with my journey in the last several years, I've been able to do that myself. So that is what I lead with. I don't, again, when I tell stories or when I relate something tonight, it's from my own personal self. It is not from a textbook. It is not from any studies. So I just want to share that because I think that it's important that statistically there will be no stats tonight. It comes from my experience. So I wanted to say that first of all. And then I thought it would be nice, since we're here, that we could start off with some burpees. Come on, Sam. I'm just kidding. Okay, that was supposed to be a really good joke. You know, okay, why is that like that?
Just face that way.
Okay, we already have technical difficulties.
Your slate help. Press the button.
Well, this is just special. So it's coming up on there, but why isn't it on here?
Yeah, it was earlier.
It was up earlier.
Rebooting it. Every time you just turn it off and turn it back on.
Oh!
I did.
Okay, simmer down there, maybe. This may be my first rodeo, but... Where's my daughter? Thank you.
Where's my daughter? Oh, there you go. Neither daughter.
It's going to be a long week. I hope y'all like some drinks. Okay, so let's get started. Again, I talked about what I want for all of you out of this. Why I'm doing this tonight is I want everyone to be inspired. I want you to be empowered. I want to show you the steps to belief and confidence. I want you to be motivated. I want you to know how important knowledge and growth is. And again, this is my personal experience, and that's kind of the stories that I will relate to you with tonight. So the first thing I want to share with you is that belief in yourself and confidence is learned through knowledge, and we learn to grow. So how do you grow without knowledge? It all comes hand in hand, and we'll be talking about that later on in a slide. But it's just really important that, again, when you're sitting here tonight, I have a little homework for all of you. I want you to think for a moment right now, and think in your head. You don't have to write it down unless you want to, but I want you to think of something that you've wanted to change, whether it's something physically, whether it's professionally, whether it is taking a course, education, whatever it is. I want you to think of something that you've been wanting to do and you don't do it. You don't do it because of fear, lack of confidence, many other things, mindset, situations, that type of thing. I want you to sit here and think what it is that you would like to change or do. And it doesn't have to be something big. I don't want y'all going out and training for a full marathon, because only cray-cray people do that. Again, it's just something that you thought you wanted to do. And think about that. And in the future, send me a message saying, when I saw you speak that night, I never thought I would be able to blah, blah, blah. But I did. And so I want you to keep that in your mind tonight as we go on. It's already 7:12. So this is a very interesting slide. I don't know if any of you have seen this before, but a lot about what I'm going to talk about tonight is my theme is change your mind, change your life. Why? Because everything starts here. You cannot change anything in your life, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional. Nothing is going to change unless you change here first. So I love this slide because it's so true. Like you have the person with a fixed mindset and a person with a growth mindset. I can relate to this because several years ago, I was a completely fixed mindset, completely. And I am now a growth mindset. Case in point, why I'm here tonight doing what I'm doing. The fixed mindset, she avoids challenge. Growth mindset, she embraces it. Fixed, she gives up easily. Growth, she pushes through setbacks. Fixed, sees effort as temporary. Growth, believe her effort is most important. Fixed, gets frustrated or ignores feedback or criticism. Boy, been there. Uses feedback and criticism as a way to improve, and completely been there. Feels threatened by other successes, is inspired and learns from other successes. I mean, this is so relatable. My personal experience, that is completely me. And I've been able to change because I've been able to grow. And bless you. and that's what I want for all of you in some form of another. So I love that slide. So we're going to talk about that. So how do you change your mindset? I came up with these 4 tips, and they're Nicole's tips on how you change your mindset. Again, disclaimer, I am no psychologist or social worker. Please do not take offense. Okay, so we're going to talk about how you change your mindset. 1, practice. 2, affirmations. 3, belief. 4, action. Again, this is what I do. This is how I've been able to change my mindset to a growth mindset through these 4 tips. And we're going to talk about that. How many times do we look at circumstances and we are stuck in circumstances? I can't change my weight because I don't have time to work out. I cannot change careers because I need this job for the hours that it provides. I cannot. We all are given circumstances in life. That's it. That is what life is. So what are you going to do with those circumstances? And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about. And it's all about your mindset. So I talk about staying stuck in the story of blaming your circumstances. And I know we've all done that. We all blame our circumstances. And we blame others. But until you take responsibility for yourself, nothing's going to change. You cannot blame others. You have to start here. So how you're going to react and think about them is what determines your beliefs and your belief about yourself. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is practice. You can shift your thinking and you can choose your thoughts, whether they are self-critical or limited beliefs. You still set yourself up daily to practice turning those negative into positive. Practice, practice, practice. It's no different than what we tell our children. You want to practice to make varsity. You want to play in the varsity. You need to practice. You want to play piano and be in a recital. You practice. Why are you not practicing with your mindset? And when I say practice with your mindset, I'm talking about turning those negatives, which we all tell ourselves all the time, into positives. So once that happens, those beliefs turn into good feelings. And when you have good feelings and positive thoughts, you are more likely to make smarter choices that lead to better circumstances. Okay, so, right? So you go and you start exercising and feeling good, and you get on the scale. Ooh, I lost 2 pounds this week. I'm a rock star. And so you're feeling good, right? You're feeling good, and you're making positive choices, and then, you go on, and you're like, okay, next week I'm gonna up this, and I'm gonna up my exercise. I'm gonna pass up that pizza because I'm feeling good. What happens when we feel good? We're making those positive choices, which comes into positive belief, which comes into positive mindset. It's a continual cycle. No different than if we are thinking, I put on these jeans and I'm looking like I do not like the way I look in these jeans, and we start criticizing ourselves, right? So what happens with that? What happens when we say, I do not like the way I look in these jeans? You start feeling like crap. You get sad, and most women go to the fridge, go to the cupboard. Again, it's negative thinking leads to negative results. So, that's my little spiel on that. But again, the point is practicing the positiveness so you can help change your mindset. The other thing I want to talk about is affirmations. Now, I'm not sure if many of you are aware of affirmations. I personally read a lot of personal development. I do not go on TMZ anymore on the computer. I do not read People magazine. I read Joel Osteen. I read anything that is going to add value to my life so I can teach others. That is just my personal choice. That is how I've grown through personal development. When I talk about affirmations, I started this thing in the morning, and some of you may have heard the Morning Miracle book. It's an amazing book, and it teaches you to start your morning off with good stuff. And so, example, we get up in the morning and you're cranky because, well, first you may have overslept and your alarm didn't go off, and then you do your hair and it looks icky, and then the kids are crying because I want some cereal. No, I don't want this for lunch. And you're mad, you're cranky, you're stressed, and you walk out the door and you go to work and you're like, ew, don't talk to me. I don't have time for you. And so our mornings are ew. So what I started, because we all have mornings like that, that's normal. What I started doing in the morning is the first thing I do before my feet even hit the floor, and again, people, these are just examples of what I've done, is I recite affirmations to myself. And it sounds really funny, but I guarantee you it helps build your confidence. It helps you feel good. It helps you start your day off, and the morning is the most important thing because it will set the tone for the rest of your day. It will set the tone, remember that. So how you are going to start your morning off is going to be how you're going to end your day. So I start my morning off with affirmations. Oh, please don't let me yell at my children today. I may have said that. No. But I recite my own affirmations, whether it is something that you're going through currently, whether it's something you're struggling with. It can be whatever it needs to be, but I start my morning off with affirmations. I also listen, like I had said, I listen to personal development. There is a ton of YouTube and podcasts out there, people. Chalene Johnson is an amazing woman. She's a fitness trainer. She's a life coach. She's incredible. That information is free. I listen to podcasts. I listen to audio when I'm cleaning the house, when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, when I am raking the leaves in the yard. Anytime I don't have the TV on anymore, I'm listening to personal development. Why? Because that is filling me up and it's putting something up here. And you may not know it at the time, but it does. So I'm big on affirmations. The next one I want to talk about is belief. That was the third tip. Belief in yourself comes with time. You just don't wake up and say, oh, I believe in myself. I can do this. I mean, really? Not, okay, maybe I cannot be grumpy today, but if you're going to wake up and believe that you're going to conquer the world, yes, but how are you going to get there? But, you know, belief is something that takes time. Every day you're reaffirming to yourself and believing in yourself. And that takes time, and you build that. Just like you're building the muscles when you start an exercise program. You don't all of a sudden work out and you're like, look at those gams. No, it doesn't happen that way. It takes time to build those. So it takes time in the belief, and that comes with personal development as well. So I had notes on here. If you don't believe in something, it won't happen. You end up self-sabotaging yourself because you think you don't deserve it. Therefore, your belief is already telling you you can't, and then you lost, right? So for those of you out there who, again, this is what I relate to because I've been there. I can't run a 5K. I don't believe I can because I'm overweight or I don't know, I've never ran before. You come up with all of these excuses of I can't. So you've already defeated yourself. You've already put that mindset. Why not say, okay, I'm going to run a 5K. I am going to download a training program. I am going to each day get to where I need to be to run that 5K. No more self-sabotaging in your heads, okay? That can pertain to relationships. You know, I'm not just talking physical fitness. I mean, it can relate to anything when we believe in ourselves. Surround yourself with like-minded people. So we always talk about who are your good friends. If you had 5 people, that you had to list 5 people, are they people that empower you? Are they people that support you? Are they people that lift you up? Are they people that add value to you? Or are they the ones that say, why are you doing that? You can't do that. Why would you wear that? That doesn't look right. And so I call them negative Nellies, which we all know negative Nellies. And through my personal development, I've learned that we do all have negative Nellies in our life. And here's the point. I'm not saying you need to shut the negative Nellies out of your life. What I'm saying is you need to decide how you're going to react and what type of boundaries will you put up with those negative Nellies. Because what happens when we say one bad apple ruins the whole bunch, right? Okay. One bad apple, isn't there a song? Okay, so it's true though, because it like catches fire. You go out for lunch, oh, I feel bad, I didn't want to, and then you're sitting there going, oh, I don't feel good in this outfit either. And it just spreads like wildfire. So again, I'm not saying here's your choice. It's your choice how much time you feed into that and where you will allow yourself to be around that negativity. So why not be around people that lift you up and support you? Why not? And I could talk for hours about that, because there are many, many women in here that empower and lift me up. And I wouldn't be here without all of you. So that's all you're getting tonight. I'm closing with this. My point is, if you walk into negativity and self-doubt, you will start to absorb it. It's like a sponge. It's the nature of the beast. So limit yourself and your surroundings. That's what you have control of. You don't have control of Debbie Downing. You have control of how you are going to feel about that and how you are going to respond and what you're going to limit yourself to. And the last thing, and the most important thing I have in parentheses, is action. For changing your mindset is about action. How do you take action? You know, we all say, okay, how do you change your mindset? Well, we've talked about belief, affirmations, but really the bottom line is taking action on changing your mindset. And to take action, you need to make a plan, you need to commit to it. You need to visualize your outcome. You need to do daily steps, being consistent, and you need to check off those steps and celebrate. For example, how am I taking action on running my first full marathon? I made a training plan on a calendar, thanks to Jennifer Martinson. I'm visualizing myself crossing the finish line. I might not be standing up, but I'm going to cross it. I'm doing daily actions to reach my goal. Yes, sometimes life happens, and sometimes it doesn't work out where we're able to daily do that. But you know what? You get up the next day and you do it. And then you cross off and you celebrate at the end of the day. You know, I'm proud that I just ran 5 miles when I didn't feel like getting up and doing it. I'm proud that I was able to stand up to so-and-so today when she made me feel like crap when she made that comment. I'm proud that I was able to say no to somebody when they asked me to do something and I knew I didn't have it in me. And instead of saying yes, because I'm always a people pleaser, I said no. So you need to celebrate those. And that is my action on poets. And on action. Actions prove who someone is. Words just prove who they want to be. Like, that's really powerful. I found that in my researching. I love that. That quote. So now we're going to talk about fear. We talked about changing your mindset. Now we're going to talk about overcoming fear. So we are going to, let me just check and see that is not the correct slide. But that's a beautiful slide, right? That is, I love that slide. And yeah, that was supposed to wrap up this part. Okay, that has nothing to do with fear, but I love that slide. Okay, now we're going to talk about there we are. See, I told you I was going to be behind on my talking in my slides. Okay, this is a great one though. 3 simple rules in life. I'm sure some of you have heard this. If you do not go after what you want, you will never have it. If you do not ask the answer, you will always be no. If you do not step forward, you will always be in the same place. So true. So true. And that pertains to anything in life. So let's talk about fear. And let's talk about overcoming fear and how you overcome fear. And actually, there are so many things that we fear. We have fear of failure, which is probably most of us have a fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment, criticism from others, fear of commitment. All of that is really legit. That's where fear stems from. But one thing I've learned is that fear is not a thing. Fear, it's not physical. You can't touch it, right? Like, oh, here's fear. It's here. Our fear is here. And with fear, you experience pain, and your brain automatically wants you to avoid pain, right? So I found that there are two types of pain. One is called loss pain, which is if I change something, I might lose it. For instance, if I changed my career, if I left my 20-year job, I may not have money to pay my bills because this thing may not work out. That is your fearing loss, which equals pain. However, if you turn that around and focus on what you will gain instead of losing, for instance, if I leave my 20-year job and become my own boss, I will have the freedom to set my own hours, to be with my children, to do the things that I never could do before, right? So it's changing how you're going to look at that loss of fear. The other thing we talk about is process pain, which stems from fear. And the process of change is hard to do. When something seems hard to do, self-doubt sets in, and you really have to take extra time to do it, and it's hard. It is hard. If you choose to lose weight, you know, for an example, I want to lose 20 pounds. The process of that is, wow, I'm going to have to start watching what I eat. I'm going to have to start reading labels. I'm going to have to start working out. I'm going to have to, and it goes on and on and on. And that whole process makes us scared. And what happens when we get scared? We bail. So accepting that process, instead of saying, you know, I have to do this, turn it around and see it as a gain. Okay, if I lose 20 pounds, I'll be able to actually do things that I was scared to do before. I can keep up with my children as they're riding their bike, and I can run alongside them. The process of the change, turn it into a positive. And that, you know, as far as I had out here different things, I can attend a cooking class instead of fearing the whole nutrition thing. Look at the positive process of it. Well, maybe I'll take a class about nutrition, or maybe I will go with Kathy down to the co-op and we'll do a class together. That type of thing. You need to look at the process in a positive light instead of a negative. If you pursue growth, you pursue fear. If you pursue the fear, you overcome it. Fear will be overcome if you choose to overcome it. And when I was writing that, when I was writing that the other day, I thought, wow, if you play that back and if you pursue growth, if you pursue change, you pursue fear. Remember, fear is here. If you pursue the fear, you're going to overcome it. Fear will be overcome if you choose to overcome it, instead of letting it overcome you. Okay, on to the next thing that I wanted to talk about with everyone tonight. was we talked about changing our mindset, we talked about overcoming fear, and now we're going to talk about self-confidence and self-esteem. Okay, wait, I'm totally goofed up on my slides, I'm sorry. This, if any of you have seen this or not, Will Smith has amazing free YouTube inspirational talks, really. And I saw this and I thought, wow, it's really true. Remember, fear is not real, it's a product of thoughts you create. So I wanted to throw that in there. So I love this slide. Build your confidence and adding value to yourself. The most important thing a girl needs to wear is her confidence. Other than if you have an awesome Michael Kors purse. So I have, I could go on and on about this, but I won't. I in my experience of helping hundreds of women over the last 2 years and what I do, the number one thing I come across is lack of confidence and self-esteem. And that's normal. That's what every woman has some form of it, whether it's 1% or whether it's 99%. And that's okay, because you don't want to be all cocky, I got this going on, because really, they really don't. When they act like that, they really don't. So how do we boost our self-esteem and confidence? And these are just tips that I've learned through time, and that's what I want to share with you. These are my tips. Again.